that's your reward right there. Like you did it. You made it to that moment. And it feels good.
Hey everyone, it's Sarah. Welcome to Assyrian Podcast, episode 185. One of the things I love about this podcast is that I've been able to talk to multiple Assyrian women who have inspired me in some way or another. Today's guest inspired me to get back on top of my fitness goals recently after being a little extra relaxed these past couple months. Years. Katie Acuña is a pro bodybuilder from the Bay Area in California. Katie and I talked about her upbringing in the Bay and how she entered the world of bodybuilding, eventually going pro. Personally, during our conversation, she inspired me to take better care of my body. She reminded me that it doesn't really matter how long it's been or if we've given up at some point. All that matters is that we keep our bodies moving and we keep moving towards that goal. I hope she inspires you too. So without further ado, here's Katie Acuña. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad we got to meet. How's your morning going?
Oh, it's going good. I actually slept in this morning. Didn't work out, just took a chill day. I have my Red Bull.
I feel like for you, sleeping in is like 8 a.m.,
Yeah,
right?
like
Okay.
yeah, 7, 6.
Where are you located right now?
I live in the Bay Area, just outside of San Francisco, about 30 minutes away. Yeah,
Oh,
in
nice.
Brentwood. Yeah, you're in Chicago, right? Or no?
Yeah, I'm in Chicago. I love the Bay though.
Thank you. I love Chicago. I went there. My son graduated from the Navy base up there. It's so beautiful. I was supposed to meet up with the Knights, the Assyrian Knights while it was up there, but it didn't work out, unfortunately. I love Chicago.
Yeah, it's a fun city for sure. There's always something to do. Have you always been in the Bay?
Mhm. Born in the Philippines, and my dad was in the military. Yeah.
That's so
So,
cool.
yeah, as soon as he was done there, we moved to he was stationed in Concord, right outside of San Francisco. So I grew up out here. This is my stomping ground. This is all I know.
Is your dad also Assyrian?
No, no, my dad's Norwegian and Irish mostly, so I'm mixed. Yeah,
Oh,
it's kind of hard because out here where I am, there is no Assyrians. I wore my mom would be like, just tell people you're Italian. Nobody knows what an Assyrian is out here.
it's so funny. Well,
Yeah,
there are a lot of Assyrians in the Bay, like mostly San Jose area, right? San Francisco a little bit.
yeah, about an hour from me, hour and a half. When Seiki came out here, he was going to San Jose to visit his family, so it was kind of nice because he stopped by here. You know Seiki? He's the president of the Assyrian Knights, so he actually got to came
Oh,
here.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
and
yes.
I'm like, another Assyrians in Brentwood.
Okay.
Woohoo! There was two of us here at one time.
Wait, so where did you so right now you're in Brentwood,
Hmm.
and then where did you grow up?
I grew up in Pittsburgh, which is about 20 minutes from here.
Oh, there's a
So
Pittsburgh in the Bay Area?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
I,
funny.
yeah, I grew up in West Pittsburgh, which they changed the name of the city because it was so bad. And then everybody got so mad. It's called Bay Point now. But the old timers like me know it as West Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice.
No H. But it's
Um,
a great city. It's a great city. It's I think one of the very few where we all kind of grew up together. It's a really communal, and so we're all still friends now, even though most of us have moved different, directions in life. So proud Pittsburgh pirate right here.
what's your like day to day like? Your typical daily routine?
I get up between 3 and 4 a.m., depending if I sleep in, sometimes 5. And my first thing that I do is work out. I take my pre-workout, it's like my coffee, get my energy going, get my protein drinks in. So I have to start early because if it comes too later, then I'm not going to do it. I'm not the person that works out at 4 or 5 o'clock because it's just no way at all. And then I get my kids ready, go to work. Lunchtime is planning on either studying because I'm going to school through my work as well.
Oh, cool. What are you doing?
So I'm an appraiser, and I've been a licensed appraiser for about 20 years now. And so they're sending me to school to upgrade my license to a certification so I could do more complex assignments. It's something I should have done a long time ago, but I get set in my ways.
Yeah, I feel like we all kind of get into a routine and then we're like, meh, we push something off because there are
Yeah.
other more important things going on. Everything has its own time, you know? Like,
It's so true. And I do math for a living. Like most of my work
oh
is
my
math, and I
gosh.
hate math.
Oh my gosh. I also hate I'm not with that. It was just not my subject.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their strong suit. Math was not mine.
Yeah, I'm same. And my dad's a mathematician. Like he's so smart. And
That's funny.
so yeah, in first grade I'd ask for help and he'd be like, well, the hypotenuse of the parallelogram is, radius times pi. And I'm like, so 2 plus 2. What?
Like, I know that one.
Yeah. It's like he's speaking a whole nother language. I just want the answer.
How did you get into bodybuilding then? So were you always just like into fitness or was it like something that you had to transition into?
I've always been into fitness. I was very uncoordinated as a kid, but my parents still made me play sports. And you know, softball, volleyball, I was too short. They would rotate me out at the net.
Oh my
I did, you know, I'm literally 5'3", so it's like, and yeah, my parents always had us involved in things. Um, Ballet, tap, jazz, piano, and then I got really into Ichinryu, Okinawan karate, where I used to compete fighting, and I loved it. And then as a teenager, I kind of fell away, and my sister would work out a lot, so I was like, "Oh, I want to work out too." I looked up to my older sister, and when I started doing it, I found the one thing I could do that I was somewhat coordinated at and good at, and I loved it. So it's always somewhat been a part of my life. I took weight training in school. I was a trainer in my early 20s. It's followed me on and off throughout life. There's times I gave up, and there's times I went through hard times in life where gym wasn't my priority. But every time I went back, I felt better and I felt good about myself. So just kind of,
So weight training was kind of like that thing you had found your niche.
yeah, it was my niche, and it also was my therapy. It's my time to think, it's my time to process. There's so much more to it than just going in and being like, oh, I'm going to be fit. It's a whole experience. Like some people cook, and that's when they think and process and create.
I never really thought about it that way, but it's true. Like whenever I go for a run and it's a good run and I haven't really thought about, all of the other things that I need to do in the day and I'm really just thinking about the run, it's really like a rewarding feeling. And it's something that I actually didn't have when I was younger. I was very much out of shape and just it, it was like a struggle. Like I wasn't always into running. It was something that I really had to force. Like I was one of those kids in high school that faked the mile and all that stuff. And now I just run three for fun, you know?
Wow, that's awesome.
It's just, yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like everybody needs to find their way, their activity. I think activity was the word that I was looking for because for some people it is playing like volleyball maybe once a week and then they feel good, they feel refreshed and they feel renewed for the week. Whereas when you're just kind of sedentary all the time, it really takes a toll on you. Like I'll notice a difference in just like my joints and I'm only 31, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And see, that's a huge thing. I had back surgery.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because I was born with, so I have a defect in my collagen production. And I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which causes like hypermobility, and I overstretch. and it's caused arthritis in my back and all kind. It's a soft tissue disorder. So when I was 34, I would sit for work. I sit so much. I sit in the car, I sit at the computer, and I wasn't moving. And a year after I had my leg surgery, I lost the ability to walk because my disc went right into my back and shut everything off. I lived in pain for so long, and moving, just you hit the nail on the head. Everybody will write you off, um, and the pain will get worse if you don't move. So that was a big push for me, and I encourage anybody, if it's Pilates, yoga, something, running, stretching, it's nail on the head. It is so good for your joints, good for your body.
Are you the type of person that dives right into something, or are you a baby steps kind of person? Because I was baby steps. I was like super overweight. I was also worried about like health issues, like diabetes and all that stuff that's kind of like prevalent in the US, you know? But for me, it was like I would walk at first. And then I was like, okay, let me try to get through like the chorus of this song where I jog, you know? And then like little by little, it just like turned into, oh, I'm running the whole thing.
That's exactly how I am. I'm baby steps, and especially getting back into it. When I got back into fitness hardcore, I was in my late 30s, pushing 40. And it was after I had my son, and I had gained a whole bunch of weight and was still going through life issues and health issues. I was miserable. And I did find, we'd go walk the reservoir. That was my getting back into fitness. It wasn't going hardcore into weights. And little by little, I felt better. So, yeah, baby steps. And then I
Yeah.
want to do more. Yeah.
Just being outside and like walking for a while. It makes the biggest difference. Like you feel it in your neck, you feel it in just like your back and stuff. I feel like we're gonna sell people today on
I
getting
think so. It is. It's exactly what you said. I mean, there were mornings I would wake up and I have two big dogs, and that walk, I would just go, walk up for a mile and a half, and then not very far and back, and I felt so refreshed and ready to start the day, and that was enough for me.
Your parents, you said, they were the ones that kind of forced you guys into activities as kids.
Yeah, because I think if they didn't, we'd be in trouble. Like, we were driving them crazy, so they had to keep us active. We would have rock wars and build forts and, get in all kinds of trouble outside. So I was my mom's girly girl, the ballet, and which that poor woman. I took piano for 8 years. I still can't play. I can't read notes. It didn't sink in. So, she'd watch me fall over, be the one turning the wrong way, during recitals. And then I was my dad's, okay, you're my last one. You're gonna fight, you're gonna play sports. And he was in the Navy a lot. He was gone a lot when we were really little. So they wanted us to have things to fulfill our time and not get in too much trouble.
So your dad being a Navy guy, did that have anything to do with your schedule now at all?
Yes, my father's very regimented, and I think that helped implement that into us as kids, with time management, which I'm always a work in progress with time management. So, yeah, and my husband now is retired Army, so I'm usually 15 minutes late to everything, whereas he's 15 minutes early. So I had to learn how to plan my time better.
That's a good combo though. You guys kind of like eventually meet up in the middle and then you just make it to things like on time.
On time, yeah. I'm sure I give him like a few more gray hairs. It's like, come on, oh my God, come on. I know, it's fashionably late.
Were there any athletes or bodybuilders that you were looking up to when you were younger?
I always loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. I thought he was, just almost inhuman. Like, I always wanted big muscles. But I liked Linda Hamilton's arms. There were actresses and actors where I'd see their arms and be like, oh, I want arms like that, but never thought I could. And my sister, she was training for a fitness competition, and for some reason it got canceled. But I really looked up to her and watching her body change. And then my cousin Hillary did a competition, and she won. It's my husband's cousin, and I was like, wow. I looked up to all these women, and there's a ton of women, even in my adult age. I look up to there's Assyrian women that are posting on Instagram that I watch, and I'm like, God, you know, they look like statues, you know, incredible. So I always look up to people that are able to challenge themselves to that level.
Yeah, because I feel like in that in this situation, it's kind of like your competition is really yourself and what you set your mind to doing with your body.
Exactly, exactly, and that should be your only competition is
Yeah.
you and your body. Yeah, and we're all different. We're all gonna train differently. We're all gonna look differently when we train. So it's about a mindset too. Because I could be like, oh, I want to look like this person, and my body's not capable of that. you know.
Yeah. Did you have like any self-image issues? Is that part of your motivation at all in bodybuilding?
It is. I struggle with self-image issues even now, getting older. Like, there's always an issue. You know, you're watching yourself change constantly. When I was younger in the 90s, that's when I was a teenager, everybody was stick thin. And here I had hips and a butt, you know, and my little mom pooch on the bottom as time went on. And I would look at myself and I'd get miserable. My poor husband, there's been times where I got dressed and felt like I looked great, only to find I was so uncomfortable in how I looked in what I was wearing. I would make him stop so I could go buy new pants or to fit like, oh, I've struggled with body image for a long time. Yeah. And even you know, in doing fitness competitions, that's another thing where you would have to be mentally prepared because you're scrutinizing every piece of your body, from your smile to how you're walking to your muscle development to what goes into your mouth. And you know, I'd go to weigh-ins and I'm up 0.5% of fat, and it can really be mentally draining. And then after the competition, because your competition body, that's your fake body, that's not sustainable. You cannot keep that going and be healthy. Some people, I guess, can. I need food right after. Like, I want pizza and beer and you know, I want to eat. So you watch your body change also, you know, to not being this cut defined six pack, you know, you're going to more normal day-to-day body. And that's a struggle too.
So is there a lot of prep that well, I mean, I feel dumb even asking that question. Of course, there's a lot of prep going into these competitions, but how hard was it getting to that point where you went pro?
Um, it was a lot. It was a lot because the time frame I decided to do it was Christmas, New Year's, my birthday, my anniversary. We went to Disneyland. Like, and you're very set on what you can eat because nutrition is just as big as your training, because without your proper nutrition you're not going to develop right or you're not going to cut right. And so that was really hard. In fact, planning my next competition, I'm trying to plan around holidays, vacations, you know, because I want to enjoy myself. But yeah, you really have to prep yourself mentally. And it is a complete dedication. Like when we went to Disneyland, I brought my own food, and what I couldn't bring, I had to map out in Disneyland to try to find like the food with the least salt and the most protein and the least butter.
That's intense.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It to get to that level, because it's not just when you go to competitions, it's not about how much you can lift. And there's so many divisions. I was in bikini for my first one, which is a very tight, slender. You want to show your conditioning, which is shredding. You want to show every muscle that you possibly can. And so, yeah, the thinner you get, the lower the body fat, the more you can show off your muscle. And it takes a lot to get to that level.
That's
It takes a
amazing.
lot.
I've heard that people don't even drink water prior to.
Yeah, so we pull water. First, you're drinking at least 125 ounces of water a day. You're pushing water the whole time. And peak week, you start pulling water away. So you go from 125 to 64 to 32 ounces to, I mean, you're dehydrated. I look at my pictures, you can see wrinkles all over. My skin's wrinkled and I'm kind of leathery looking because all that water is just being pulled and pulled and pulled from your body till you have nothing.
That's so intense. But I love how you're still doing math. Like
Yeah.
all throughout.
Not very well.
It all comes down to math.
Yeah, and I did a little vlog on there. Like, I couldn't find my glasses, and normally I'm scatterbrained as it is, but they were sitting right on my chest. Like the brain fog is real. I'd go to yell at one of my kids or yell to them, and I'd be like, "You couldn't get their name to come out of my mouth." I'd be like, "Well, you know who you are. I need you." That one.
You know which one I'm calling.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
So combined, there's 8 total. I've had 3. So my eldest is Jordan. She's going to be 27. Riley is my youngest daughter. She's 19. And Arik is my 7-year-old. And then my husband has children. And then we recently became guardians of, it's going to sound a little weird, but I have guardianship with my daughter over my ex-husband's children with somebody else.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so there are other 2 bonus girls, and they're amazing.
I love that. I grew up in a house of 6 kids.
Oh, you came from a big family too.
I did, yeah. I love it. Is your day-to-day the same every day, or do you change it up each day?
I change it up. So during competition, the average week is you're prepping and shopping, grocery shopping all day on Sunday, and then prepping your food for the week. And then it's usually workout every morning. You're doing your cardio, you're doing your weights, you're interchanging your different muscles, counting your water loading, making sure you're getting, because you actually have to eat a lot to lose weight. It's just what you're eating. So it's constantly remembering to eat because I'm not.
Work with like a nutritionist?
I have a nutritionist. She's actually getting her PhD this year. Yeah, and she's actually my posing coach too. So you have posing practice and nutrition check-ins and weight training. I didn't use my trainer in the second competition only because it was just there's so much money that you put in. You have to delegate, where it goes. Is it going more to nutrition and posing? Because competing can be very expensive. But yeah, now my typical week is I work out maybe 3 times a week. Because it's just when I have the time to do it. And then also coming out of my last competition, because I did 2 back to back, I don't know if it's because I'm getting a little older, but my body was tired and I just wanted to relax, decompress, gain some weight because I do like more meat on my bones than I had. And just spend time with my family because it takes a lot. It takes you away from everything. And everywhere you go, it's revolved around what you can eat. I would bring containers with me, or my family would have to pick certain restaurants because they had food there I could eat. So now we're like, where do you want to go? Pizza, 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 wherever. I don't care.
I feel like the nutrition bit has to be the hardest because anyone can just go to a gym and you're lifting weights, you go there for a certain amount of time, that's fine. As long as you get it in your routine, it's going to be part of your routine. I think they say it's like 2 weeks to make something become a habit. But when it comes to food, some of us are so used to, our comfort foods, it's hard to give up certain things, or it's hard to start liking other things that are better for us. That was another thing that I had to learn when I was trying to just make myself better, healthier. It's like, oh, you need more vegetables than this. Like just having a little side salad once a day isn't enough, or like, you need more protein here. You're not like you're not thinking about what you're eating, and so it becomes your detriment essentially. But yeah, how did you navigate that? Because I know I know it's difficult, but I wanted to hear from you and see what your thoughts are, at least on nutrition, because that's also something that doesn't get taught well enough, in my personal opinion.
I agree. I agree. I learned a whole lot just in the last year of nutrition. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So my nutritionist, she's who I went to, and I was like, she was a good friend of mine. We went to high school together, and I used to get my protein powder and stuff from her, and I was like, I want to compete, and she's like, okay, but she doesn't take like no excuses, nothing, and I really didn't want to let her down. So I'm like, okay, I can do this. So that was part of my psyching myself up, is not letting Brenda down. It wasn't even. So then when you start doing it, and it's a lot of, like you said, I'm eating 2 cups of salad twice a day, with leafy greens and Greek yogurt and all kinds of stuff with protein in it. No sugar, no salt. In fact, it's still hard for me to this day. Everything tastes too salty to me because
Really?
salt was stripped. Yeah, and I was like the salt queen. I like spices, I like salt, I like more salt. But even I couldn't even enjoy pizza at first because it felt like the salt was punching me in the back of the throat. And when you take salt away, like a lot of salt, because you still have some sodium, you need it, but you notice your body change big time. My blood pressure, my body, like health wise with the nutrition, I started feeling so much better, like less acid reflux, less stomach aches. Like my body was feeling good, and it was putting myself into that mode of, oh, I feel good when I eat like this. But it was so much to eat, I couldn't eat it all. I told her, I'm like, I'm trying. She's like, it's okay. Because a lot of it's like water, like tomatoes is a lot of water. So you're getting water while you're eating your little cherry tomatoes. So it goes into your water, helps your body flush, and you're getting all the vitamins. And then she's so informative. She'll be like, and you get this vitamin from this, and these dark leafy green ones, and bell peppers, with hummus. Like, she made it easy for my diet, and my diet was tailored to what I needed to do. So because it tasted good, I think I had and it wasn't always the same thing every week. I think I had an easier time with it because I love food.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm one of those
Mm,
people though that will like look up like, hey, how do I get more of this vitamin? Why am I overeating, chocolate or something? And then it would be like, oh, like I'll just Google things randomly and it'll be like, oh, your body actually needs magnesium. You get magnesium from like
yeah.
dark leafy greens. And I was like, oh, didn't know that.
Didn't know that.
It's good to know.
Yeah. And magnesium's great for you because it helps with muscle cramps too and all kinds of stuff. So I take it every night. But getting it from your food's the best source.
Yeah. Isn't that what's also in like those salts? Like after you
It,
work out or something and you're like super sore, they put them in those like Epsom salts or something.
mhm. Yeah, and you actually absorb that. It absorbs into your skin, so you do get your magnesium from the Epsom salt.
Have you ever done any of those like ice baths that I'll see like
Oh,
at you?
no.
No.
No, no. I don't like being cold. I don't
Same.
like yeah, no. I I see people do those crypt they go into the machines and freeze them. No. Mm-mm.
I
No,
feel like I'd be too claustrophobic for that one.
thank you. I
You're
don't like yeah. I'm a little claustrophobic myself. So, yeah, that wouldn't work. Claustrophobic and cold? No.
yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I don't do ice baths, at all.
When did you start competing?
So I just did my very first competition was May of this last year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I did 3 divisions in that one, and I got first place in all of them and 2 pro cards out of so I got my pro card in the athletic masters and formal wear. Bikini, I got first place but missed my pro card by 1 point. So that's what I went back and got just recently.
So how do you become pro? What's the process?
You actually go out there and you compete as a novice, or I mean, you can compete in any division other than pro when you start. And it's not just about how your body looks. You're scored on your routine, which I'm not coordinated. I look at my things and put my hand over my head because it's just awful. Your posing, your swimsuit, your hair, your makeup, your overall stage presence. Like you're being judged on a lot of different categories. Your conditioning of your body, and then you have to get, I think it's 168 points to earn your pro card. And then I know, like what? 168? Yeah. And I got 167. My first one.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's amazing though. For your first try.
For my first try. Thank you. Yeah. And it was like, so you could get first place, but still not be considered a pro because you didn't score high enough, and then you can't compete with the pros. So the last one I did, I scored higher enough and I got my pro card, and I immediately went into the pro event and I took third on that one against the other pros, which I was not ready to be up there. I was like, oh, I mean, these ladies have been doing this for years, and they were looking fabulous. And I had myself psyched out like before I even got on stage for that one. And I was mentally preparing for my pro masters, which I did win. So thank God. It felt good because I'd been working on that for a long time.
That was in the fall.
That was just this fall. Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, it was amazing. Honestly, we're not there to compete against each other. It's a great group of people. It's like a family environment, and there's so many different divisions, and you meet people come from all these different stories and backgrounds, and it's the camaraderie. It's the whole experience. So no, I joke about winning, like, oh, thank God I won, but it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter if I got 10th place. It's the being there, the environment, and that specific league. I love it. It's all natural. It's empowering. It's amazing. And one of the girls, she's a pro competitor. She brought cookies and Rice Krispie treats. So we're all back there starving, and I'm just like eating, cookies. Like I couldn't take it anymore. We're laughing and we're helping each other with our outfits and our posing, and not all leagues are like that. And you do get some that kind of stay quiet maybe because they don't know, they're looking at it as a different experience. But all in all, by the end of the competition, everybody's laughing and hugging and sharing their stories. Yeah, I mean, there's grandmas there, there's moms, there's people there for a specific reason through so many different life events that it's cool.
Do you have any friends that do this with you, or people that you've made friends with that have been
yeah,
competitions?
I don't have anybody that I knew beforehand that compete with me, but through the competitions I made so many friends. One of the ladies who I competed with, Tarsha, we send each other memes, and she's always sending me funny things all day. She's hilarious. I've made a lot of friends through competing, and we're all planning on going to lunch together. I want to go see them compete, even though I'm not doing it in May. Just a lot. Tammy, Jen, like I look up to them. They've been doing it longer. They look amazing. So yeah.
What's your family life like when you're doing these competitions?
Chaotic. I'm very lucky to have.
Family life and work life balance isn't already hard enough.
Yeah. There's times, like especially like my last one, I was like, I don't know if I could do this again because I feel like I take away from my family. You have that guilt. My husband may have to go on a field trip because I have posing practice or something. Like there's a lot of that my family has to sacrifice, or they're eating no salt chicken tonight because that's what I'm having. Yeah. Yeah. And then it's kind of nice too because I have the two little girls now, which is so lovely because my girls are so grown up. Most of our kids don't live here anymore. and they just became fascinated, so they would family life almost is like, "Can we practice with you?" You know, so I try to make it involve them as much as possible, or, you know, "Can we see the bikini?" or "Can we see the" help pick out the formal wear, or
And they get to look up to you in the process
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, yeah, I wanna be a positive role model to them because I look at, you know, all the women that and men that were positive role models to me growing up, you know, that you look up to, so the fact that somebody could look at you that way is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's also just nice to have everybody else around you be supportive because it's super easy to slide into bad habits when it's just all around you. So the
So
fact
true, oh,
yeah, the fact that your family is, like, on board and they're like, "All right, no salt chicken.
yeah.
Here we go."
Yeah. Well, my husband, he can be a little devil sometimes. He'd go to Starbucks and get, like, the most sugariest sugar drinks and be sitting there eating the, you know, Gouda sandwich with in front of me, and I'd be like, "I'm gonna rip that out of your hand." Like, you know?
Like, "Don't you know better? Go eat that in the car."
Yeah. "Look away." Yeah.
I love it.
So, oh, yeah, yeah, I'm that's one thing too, if anybody is considering to compete, you really have to have that support system because it's so much easier when you do. Because if nobody else is on board, you're fighting a losing battle, like, it takes even more. Yeah. I mean, I just made chipta last night, which, you know, has the meatballs and everything else. I couldn't imagine if I were training for a competition, having a family that'd be like, "Oh, we want this," and it's like one of my favorite, you know, meals, or "We want pizza," and it's one of my favorite meals, and watching them eat it in front of me. So, they did pretty good, and then I learned too where I just kinda backed off. You just wait. You wait till the after this. You know?
How much exact I know we were talking about how, when we were talking about nutrition, you were saying, like, it's a lot to eat. People don't realize how much you have to eat, um, and I just wanted to know how much do you eat, basically, in a day?
So, it would be black coffee, maybe a dash of almond milk in it, with, half a piece of toast with, 2 egg whites, 1 egg on top, with half a cup of Greek yogurt with a half of, grapefruit,
Okay, so that's
and
all
that's your
before,
breakfast.
like, 9 AM, I'm assuming?
That's all before 9 AM. And then your snack, you know, it depends on where you're at in your shred, but your snack is a cup of, cucumber and a cup of tomato, so it's 2 cups, and that's a snack. You know, of something. And then your lunch is pita filled with 2 cups of lettuce, 4 ounces of chicken, and homemade dressing. And then, you know, your next snack is another 2 cups of something, or carrot sticks and hummus.
So you're really, like, on top of your metabolism then. You're, like, on a schedule basically, like, "Okay, keep going," you know?
Keep going. Mhm. Keep going. You're eating, eating, and in between that, you're trying to get your protein shakes in because 'cause you're doing 3 to 4 protein shakes a day on top of that. So it's a lot on top of your water, on top of your you know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
at
full
dinner
all
with
the time, basically.
you're full constantly. You're constantly and then it's like, "It's time to eat again." And then if you don't get that food in when your body's ready, then you get hangry. Like, I have learned new levels of hangry I did not know existed. My husband would be like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, I get it. I get when I'm taking too long and you're hungry and we're trying to go somewhere because I understand how you feel now. I want food. That's all I want. Feed me now, or because if I miss my schedule, you're gonna have a hangry person.
When is the next time that you're gonna compete?
So I'm thinking of this fall right now. It's just like last time I went to Hawaii right before my competition, so it was hard I had to like really sweat it getting down. So I'm trying to figure out when I have the least amount of things going on in my life. So I'm thinking this fall or next spring. I'm trying to put on more weight. and more muscle. I probably want to go in with a little higher body fat percentage. I think I got down a little too low last time. So yeah, it's gonna be a maybe fall. It'll either be here or Phoenix.
What's the motivation moving forward? You competed this past fall and you went pro. What's the incentive of going forward and continuing to do this? Because you do put your body through a lot. I mean, just the ups and downs and like shredding sounds intense.
Shredding and gaining it back are both like a mental mind game. But for me, I just really enjoy it's not about the notoriety. It's not about anything other than I enjoy pushing my limits. And it's the one thing I succeeded at in life where I made a goal, I saw it through, and I've stepped on the stage. Like from putting the bikini on, I grew modest in my older life and it was hard, but that's my uniform. It's what I wear as part of my job. So it's pushing my own limits constantly, which I think I like, and seeing it through, and then knowing like that the prize is the camaraderie I'm going to experience when I go see all my girls and all the competitors, and it's like even the aftermath of going to eat and having fun. It's a whole process, so that's what keeps me going. But I don't know how many more I'm gonna do because like you said, it's very hard on my body, and I got pretty sick after my last one, so you have to weigh maybe then I'll get into judging or just go help out so I can see everybody. Yeah, I just do it because I love it.
Do you have any advice for someone who might be like a novice bodybuilder or someone who's just into weightlifting who's possibly considering competing?
Well, you can do it. Get your team, get your right team. You want your right support system. You want to be in your right headspace, you know. Get a good nutritionist, posing coach, and trainer. Hopefully there's somebody that has all three in one. But if not, you want to do your research. Pick a league also. I love my league. It's a smaller league, but it's an amazing league. We are like a family. So you want to pick your league and your division, but you can do it. And it's not just bikini. There's not just bikini. There's not just athletic. There's so many different divisions like inspiration, transformation. You don't have to be 10% body fat to go out there and do a competition. You can go out there and tell your story in an evening gown dress and do evening wear. Whatever makes you feel good.
That's really cool. I didn't know that was even part of it. Like you can just go out in the evening dress.
Yeah, they have formal wear, and you wear your evening dress, and I did that one on my first one. That was fun. Your hair's glamorous. They have transformation and inspiration, where you see people who are on their journey and have come either halfway or they've made it to their goal and they're there, and they're in it. A lot of them are in formal wear, or it just depends. But there's theme wear if you wanted to. When a girl last time, she was just there for theme wear and dressed up as a Valkyrie. It
Oh,
was nice. Yeah, and
that
they do a
sounds
whole routine.
fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. So it's not just about going out and being like, oh, look at me. There's so much more to it, and you can do more than one division. But I would say find a league. In Chicago, I know the IPL has they do comps out there. It's a great experience. The girls are all friendly. The guys are all friendly, and so yeah, pick a league, and then pick your division, and just give it your all. Don't give up, and keep going. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. The fact is, the day you walk in and you see the stage and you go through the process, that's your reward right there. Like you did it. You made it to that moment. And it feels good.
Thanks for listening. If you liked, or even if you didn't like, this episode, please comment, DM, email, send us a little courier pigeon to tell us how we're doing. Your feedback is appreciated, and don't forget you can also nominate guests you haven't heard on here yet. We're always open to your suggestions and your collaboration. Also, the Assyrian Podcast Shop is live, so check out the link in our bio to get your Assyrian Podcast swag today.